Hey guys, if you're anything like me, you search the internet for tips and tricks, and so I just want to show you a couple tricks on this NV3500. It came out of a 94 C1500, so that's a two-wheel drive. So tearing it apart, obviously you want to put it back together the way it came, so I labeled everything as I took it apart. I had a little paint marker, you can tell. I put red on the side facing in one direction. Whatever you want to do. I even put arrows. There's an arrow right there pointing that way. Whatever you want to do, just make it easy for whenever you put it back together. Also, what you can do is take a string and each gear that comes off, the first one that comes off, put it on the string. The second one, put it on the string. So that way when you're putting them on the main shaft, it all's in order. And of course, whenever it's in there, it should turn freely. So anyway, I want to talk about this, the jig. Obviously, I don't have a jig here. I didn't need a jig. I use these two ratchet straps to hold the transmission down. I supported it underneath here with my arm to lift the weight up, and then I pushed out, or I pushed back here, and of course the ratchet straps kept it from moving off the table. You do not need a jig, but this was an alternate way. You hear the trick everywhere. People put grease in this bearing right here, so they'll pack this with grease, and this goes on the cluster shaft, I believe it's called, this one. It's the main shaft, the cluster shaft. So when this goes on, all these little bearings in here, you don't want them wiggling around. You want them staying out. So then whenever this shaft gets put around it, it's freely gonna go on. So there's two of these. There's one here, obviously, and then there's one back there behind that big gear. Well, you can't see it, but when you're putting all this together, you're just kind of blindly doing it just by feel. Your reverse gear right here, reverse idler, that's gonna need to be on there. You can't put that in. Basically, I cannot take this out or in without these coming out. So I wasn't able to finagle that in with these two shafts in. So that has to be I just set it on top. All this was laying on the table. I just set it on the table, picked it up all as an assembly as you see it here with the shift forks and the shifting shaft all in place, and just kind of cradled it with my hand and did that. Of course, it was a little more finagling. I did it by myself. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see it. The 3-bolt little ring in there. It's in the very back. You can see just the tip of it, just the round little part right there. That is not a good representation, but it's the 3 bolts that are here, here, and down here there's one more. So those 3 bolts kind of just hold that input shaft, or this is the input shaft, output shaft bearing. It holds it in place. And what I did to hold that is use this magnet, and I put it back there, the right spot, and just let it rest back there and let it hold the ring. I wonder if we could see it from here. You can see just the top portion, the threaded portion right there. Come on, there you go. So that's the top of it right there, right in the middle. And what I did is I used this longer bolt here to hold it in place once I got got it with the magnet in the right spot. I held it with the long screwdriver. So just basically long fingers back there and holding it in place to get just this screw started, or this bolt. And then I went ahead and started the actual size bolt. You can see it's connected. I just need to tighten them down. And that's how I got that. Hope I explained that well. This isn't that bad of a job. You will need a press to press all these gears off whenever you take the transmission apart. So you will have to have access to a press. But once you got it all together, putting it back in, so far it's not that bad. Ratchet straps helped out a lot if you don't have that second hand. Yeah, those are the tips that I have. So you can always see here, got the speedo gear right in the middle of in the circle pretty much. So I know I'm all the way back, so we're good. And we got our output shaft sticking out there just like that. So anyway, hope this helps you guys. Don't be afraid to do it. See ya.